Good morning, children. Hope you all are doing great. Children, today I am going to explain you the structure of the brain. Okay, so this is the chapter 10 part 2 video. Children, you know this nervous system is the main system which control all the other system of our body. So it is also called as master system of our body. Okay, and I told you in my last video that it is composed of nervous system composed of three main parts: brain, as you can see here, spinal cord, and nerves, which distributed with the help of these spinal cord only. It is all these nerves arises and distributed into a branch like structures into the other part of our body and helps in the transmitting of impulses through the step by process of. Okay, so this nervous system is main parts are brain, spinal cord and nerves, but the two divisions, scientist has divided this two divisions of nervous system. First one is central nervous system, which is also called as CNS. Okay, and which includes brain and spinal cord. So our brain and spinal cord together make up the central nervous system. Okay, and second is peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is also called as PNS, which includes all the nerves. So the third main organ or part, which is nerve, comes under this system, peripheral nervous system. Okay, it emerges out from and enter into the brain and spinal cord. So all the nerves that is coming from the brain and spinal cord, and again they are just attached to the brain and spinal cord, all the nerves comes under this PNS system. Okay, so there are two division of nervous system: CNS, which consists of brain and spinal cord, and PNS, which consists of all the nerves arising from the brain and spinal cord. Remember this. Now further, PNS is consists of two subdivisions. First one is somatic nervous system. Somatic means it conveys information in the form of impulses into the voluntary muscles, all the voluntary organs. Okay, our skeleton muscles, we know our skeleton muscles are voluntary because we can control it. Okay, so these somatic nervous system convey information or pass information in the form of impulses into the skeleton system. Okay children, next one is ANS. So ANS you can see here, autonomic nervous system. Okay, so it I have explained you what is ganglia. Ganglia is the aggregate of the nerves. Okay, so these ganglia, change of ganglia, which control all the nerves. Okay, which control our involuntary action. So this involuntary action is controlled by ANS. So PNS is further divided into somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Okay, so children, now the brain. Okay, brain is the very delicate organ. Okay, as you all know, brain is very delicate organ, and brain consists of so many parts, and we have in it is protected by our skull. Okay, and skull we have the brain box, or you can say it is also called as cranium. So in the cranium cranial cavity, or this brain box of cranium of the skull, it basically protect our delicate organ, which is brain. Okay, now because the brain is a very delicate organ, it controls all the other our body other organs also. The what is the weight of the brain? So the adult brain weighs 1.35 kg, or you can say 1350 kg. Okay, and it constitutes about 2% of our total weight. Okay, so 80% it is made up of water, and 25% it consumes the 25% of oxygen. Now it is protected by the covering, like you know our skin is our whole body is covered by a skin. Okay, so that no bacteria or foreign particle invade into our skin. Like this brain is also protected by three membranous coverings, which is called as meninges. Okay, so meninges it means a membrane. So this membrane, three membrane are there, they together form meninges. Okay, so first membrane is dura mater, which is the outermost fibrous membrane. Then is arachnoid. Arachnoid is the very delicate, and it is a middle layer membrane. Okay, and it gives the cushion like structure, cushion to our brain. Then is pia meter, that this is the innermost membrane. So this pia meter, what is the function of it? As you can see, it is richly supplied with blood vessels and all. So basically pia meter, they nourishes our brain. Okay, second one is arachnoid. It is a very delicate middle layer, as you can see here, and it contains the blood vessels. I told you it contains the blood vessels, and it contains the CSF also, cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, cerebrospinal fluid. Now next one is durameter. Durameter is very toughest outermost layer, and it protects the inner part of the brain. It is the outermost layer, so it protects the inner part. Inner part means these arachnoid, pia meter or other brain part. Now this is the disease. Okay, so inflammation in this meninges, inflammation in the meninges or outer covering is called meningitis. So inflammation or swelling of the meninges or disease of the meninges are called meningitis. So meningitis is the disease related to this membrane. Next is, children, I told you CSF. CSF is cerebrospinal fluid. You can say, see here. So children, it acts as a, what is the function? There are three membrane, and all the three membrane inside the membrane they are attached, but they have some gaps or spaces. So these spaces are filled with this watery fluid which is called CSF. This CSF is present in the brain also, between the membranes and spinal cord also. So it acts like a cushion, as you can see. It is an insulated fluid which acts like a cushion to protect the brain from any shock. So it is a shock absorber. Okay, as I said that the same fluid also fills in the central spaces of the brain, inside the brain, wherever the space is there inside the brain, this fluid is there as a protective cushion absorber and shock absorber, and it is present in the central canal of the spinal cord also. Now in the lower classes I have explained you about the three parts, the three main part you all are familiar with, that is cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Okay, so again we will study here also. So the first one is cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest portion of our brain, and it is divided into our brain is divided into half part. Okay, left part and right part. Okay, like you know, and you know our brain is having the you have seen the acrot. Okay, apricot. Our brain has the shape of that apricot only, and apricot also have the two part. Okay, which is attached with the central or middle membrane. So the two right and left halves are called central hemisphere. Okay, so here you can see here. Okay, so this is the cerebral hemisphere, center part. Okay, where this corpus callosum, you can see this corpus callosum. Okay, so basically this corpus callosum attach both the right and left hemisphere from each other. Okay, it is a that joining material. It is also, they are also made up of the fibers. I will explain you further. So they are having, like you know, apricot having the curves, grooves, folds. Like this, our brain is also having the curves convoluted with ridges and grooves. Okay, these are called gyri and sulci. This you can see, gyri and sulci. So we have already explained in short in the lower classes. So you can go through that books also, lower classes book. So each cerebral hemisphere is a hollow internal. This cerebral hemisphere is a hollow internal. It is hollow from inside. You can see here it is hollow from inside, and it has the two regions. Outer one cortex, which is called cortex, and the inner portion is called medulla. So here also you can see the outer one is cortex and inner one is medulla. So here you can see spinal cord, medulla oblongata, all the labeling are given. Now the outer portion of cortex contains neurons. Okay, cell bodies of neurons. So the outer neurons are grey in color, and it is called grey matter. Okay, in this diagram they are not showing it. Now it is, and the inner portion, Okay, outer portion are grey in color, outer nerves, or you can say in other words that in outer nerves are called grey in color, that's why it is called gray matter, whereas the inner portion consists of a white nerve. Okay, white matter, or you can say they are colorless, so that they are called white matter. Now it is believed that, first point I am just reading here, it is believed that the higher number of conjugations, the grooves and gyres if present, means it is a large number of brain cells and hence greater intelligence. So you know children, if a person, you can see here folds and grooves, okay, these lines, zigzag lines, these are called folds and grooves. So you know, people are they believe, scientists have studied, you know, Albert Einstein is a very famous scientist. So when he died, after his death, okay, they have just observed his brain, okay, that why he was so intelligent. So they found that he has you know, there are in all over the world there are 19 people, or 19 around 20, 19 and 20 people, their brain are like this. Okay, their brain, scientists found that their brain has highest number of these grooves, these zigzag grooves and sulci and gyri. Okay, so Albert Einstein also, when they studied, they found he also has, his brain is also has also have these gyres and sulcis. Okay, so he understood, and this gyre and sulci basically sign of the higher intelligence. As I said, the large number of these convolutions and the large number of brain cells means you have the greater intelligence. So this gyre and sulci is a sign of intelligence. Now then you can see this center part in this picture, and here I am also showing the center part. It is a left and right hemisphere. Okay, in this diagram I am showing you. So this corpus callosum, you can see this is the medial line and this is the actual corpus callosum. This is it is a sheet of fibers connecting two hemispheres. So I told you it is our two hemisphere is connected by, like you can say that it is joined by. Okay, it is joined by corpus callosum. So sometimes, you know, in the exam they are asking what is the function of corpus callosum or where it is located. So you should know it is the median portion of this right and left hemisphere, it is present. And what is the function? It transfer information from left to right hemisphere. Okay, so one hemisphere to another hemisphere, it pass the information in the form of impulses only. Okay, so you should know what is corpus callosum. Now the highly developed cortex, which is the outer membrane, enables us to think, reason, invert, memorize. So cerebrum is the seat of intelligence also, consciousness, willpower. It controls voluntary actions also, it perceives the signals for sense organs also. Okay, so this you should know the function of cerebrum. As we have already it gives the emotion, experiences, okay, our that reasoning, logical learning, all our planning comes under this, or just controlled by the cerebrum part. Now children, here you can see the diagram. It controls our, so here you can say all the parts, okay, all the sense organs that stimulus is activated by this brain. So here we have the, or all the I told you it perceives the impulses of for sense organ. So speech, smell, taste, hearing, body balance, okay, which is done by that cerebellum part. Our vision, sensation, posterior part of the brain control. Our movement, anterior part of the brain. Our thinking, memory, this is, here is a cerebrum part is present. So like this. Now what is generally called subconscious or unconscious mind, they are also located in the cerebrum. Okay, so you know, when we are sleeping, okay, we are dreaming, so all these controlled by our conscious, our mind is in conscious state at that time even though. Okay, so all this controlled by our cerebrum part. So whatever is our thinking. Now cerebrum, second part is cerebrum. So here you can see cerebrum part, cerebellum part. So here you can see this part. Okay, so this is a cerebellum part and it is a smaller area. Okay, it is present at the base and under the large, beneath the, you can see the beneath the or behind the this back side of the cerebrum, it has no convolution. Okay, it do not have any grooves and curves, sulci and gyri, but it has furo. Okay, like furo means like pits like structures. Okay, now it is also has the outer cortex. It is also made up of gray matter, outer one, and inner one white one. So it is looking like the branches of a tree. You can see the white lines which is having the branches. Okay, now children, that as you know that this cerebellum part, it helps in the balance, and it balance and it controls all the voluntary actions. All the voluntary action is controlled by our cerebellum part. Okay, here also it is written in the last line, it controls all the muscular activity. Okay, now next third part is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is the largest portion, lowest portion, sorry, and it is present in the base of the skull. Okay, it is triangular like a structure, and it controls, you should know the functions. Okay, so it controls all the internal organs. Internal organ means it controls all the involuntary actions which we cannot control, like breathing, our breathing process, like our beating of the heart, stomach movement. Okay, during the digestive system we cannot control. So all these kidney muscles movement, all the internal organ movements we cannot control. So for example, peristaltic movement of the alimentary. Peristaltic movement when we are eating food and from the mouth cavity, when through the food pipe, you know, our food pipe shows this peristaltic movement, and even stomach and all, they are just passing food, digested food from one part to another part. That is called peristaltic movement. Movement of the breathing, I told you, rate of breathing we cannot control, beating of our heart, and many other involuntary action is done by medulla oblongata. Okay, so you know, injury to this medulla, it is very important. Okay, and it is connected to the spinal cord also. So any injury to the medulla result to the sudden death. Okay, so there are three primary reason of the brain is also given. The brain is divided into three parts: forebrain, front side; midbrain, middle one; and hindbrain, back side. So each part has its own function. So cerebrum is present in the cerebrum, and diencephalon, both are present in the forebrain. So cerebrum function, we know it is a seat of intelligent memory, conscious emotions, willpower, so many things. Okay, voluntary action. Diaphragm, this is a thalamus. Okay, it is further divided into thalamus and hypothalamus. So thalamus part, it relays pain, pressure, impulses to the cerebrum. Okay, and hypothalamus, it controls the body temperature and pituitary gland. You know, endocrine gland, pituitary gland is present in the hypothalamus region of the brain, which secrete the insulin. Pituitary gland, it is a master gland, it secretes the insulin and other hormones. Okay, so we have the pineal gland also. Now midbrain is a very small part. Okay, tubular structure, and it is involving for the vision. So midbrain is basically for the vision, for give us vision, or carry the impulses for the vision, and ears also. Now next is hindbrain. Hindbrain consists of three parts further: cerebellum, pons, and one more is there, that is medulla oblongata. So we all know that this cerebellum controls our muscular activity. All the voluntary actions are controlled by the, and balance also, equilibrium of our body is controlled by cerebellum part. Pons, it is located in the center of the brain. Okay, and it carries pons varioly carries the impulses from one hemisphere to the other. So one hemisphere means the left and right. Okay, both the sides. Now last one is, third one is medulla oblongata. So it controls all the involuntary actions. Okay, so you should know the function of each. Okay children, so children, please go through the chapters. It is a big chapter, lengthy chapter. That's why I am just in a small sections I am just explaining you each part so that you can easily understand. So go through the chapter in the homework and draw and start drawing the diagrams. You can see. So in your copy, please start. If there is a definition, please start writing and draw these diagrams. Figure 10.5 and this figure 10.7. so please draw. Okay, so this part is also very important, because in this they are showing that frontal lobe of cerebral cortex, then parietal lobe, then occipital lobe, like this. Okay, so children, thank you and have a nice day. God bless you all.